We live in a world so fake, the truth actually scares people. You see? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Why Russia is invading Ukraine? We got a whole lot to talk about, deep divers. There's an African proverb which goes like this. When two elephants fight, the ground suffers. Slow motion this side. And when two nations fight, are at war with each other, innocent civilians suffer. And I want to send condolences. And also, I want to send healing energy to that whole area, Russia and Ukraine. Because the casualty of war is the truth. That is the first casualty of war, the truth. I saw a video, deep divers, a POW, Russian prisoner of war in Ukraine, calling his mom saying, hey, I was tricked into this war. I thought I was just doing a training exercise, a military drill. Soldiers, so dire, 19, 20 years old, they're babies, yet they are fighting for their country, right? Right. And I told you, this is part of the great trap. We're going to talk about that. But what we see in the mainstream media is Putin is the devil. But you have to really study the history of Russia and Ukraine to see why Russia is invading Ukraine. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. And also I'm going to tell you what the mainstream media are not telling you, okay? Raising the frequency, raising the vibration. Breathe with me, deep divers. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. That's better. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are in the beautiful nature art gallery. Take that, take that, take that. Peace I'm sending you right now because the world needs peace. Let's stop World War III, right? A lot of people are scared right now, all around the world, because of this Russia and Ukraine situation, conflict. But why is Russia invading Ukraine? We're going to talk about it, deep divers, and I'm going to tell you what the media is not telling you. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Now, it seems that so much is happening in the world. Did you see Biden say it's terrible what's happening to the Iranians? But he actually meant Ukrainians. Like, what is going on with your world leaders? They can't even get their words right. Well, you see, the truth of the matter is we should be leading ourselves. We're going to come to that later. So why is Russia invading Ukraine? There are many reasons. I've been doing research on this for a long time. There are three main reasons why Russia is invading Ukraine. The first reason is because Russia wants the old Soviet empire back. The Soviet Union empire back. In 1991, August 24th, the Ukraine left the Soviet Union. Now, Putin has actually said it is the biggest tragedy, the collapse of the Soviet Union. Putin wants that Soviet empire back once again, and that means invading Ukraine. The second reason why Russia is invading Ukraine is because of gas and oil. Natural gas and oil. A lot of people don't know that Russia has a lot of natural gas and oil. So does Ukraine. But who supplies the natural gas to the EU, European Union? Russia does. It supplies a quarter of the EU's natural gas. And guess what? The pipes, they go through Ukraine. 80% of the natural gas coming from Russia, 80% of the gas going from Russia to Europe has to go through Ukrainian pipes. And this is what the conflict is also about. You see, it's been going on for a long time. 2014, Crimea was annexed. There's been a war in the Donbass region. And it's been going on for a long time. But now it's reached a tipping point because of this natural gas and oil crisis, right? Because once again, the EU gets a quarter of its natural gas from Russia, but 80% of the pipes go through Ukraine. So Putin is like, hey, we have to seize and invade that area. That's the second reason, right? Third reason is because of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Russia is scared that Ukraine is getting too cozy with the West and NATO, and it might become a member of NATO. If that happens, that is Putin's, Russia's worst nightmare, because now military bases are going to be on the border, Ukraine and Russia. And Putin cannot allow that to happen. By the way, Russia's population has been dwindling, declining. It has seen its biggest population decline in the history of Russia. And this is why Putin is also invading Ukraine. Now, once again, it is terrible what's happening. I don't want to see it happening. War, yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Innocent children are losing their lives in Ukraine. Young soldiers losing their lives, not knowing really what they're doing. But why else is Russia invading Ukraine? Because Russia forgot about one humanity. You see, when you say my country, you will always be in a state of war. My country leads to war. War creates separation. Separation creates suffering. So this whole conflict, Russia and Ukraine, like any war, it is born out of the illusion of separation. Russia and Ukraine, same people. But for you to really understand, overstand, and understand the Russia and Ukraine conflict, you have to learn about what is really happening they're not telling you about. You see, when you realize we have all been under the mass hypnosis in this world, from the mainstream media, the television which tells lies to your vision, and also us believing that we are a part of a country. I want to fight for my country. Instead of fighting for your country, fight for your freedom and humanity. It's not about choosing sides. It's about choosing love. Slow motion this side. Go and listen to that John Lennon song, Imagine There's No Countries. It's not hard to do. There will only be peace. But you see, so long as there are my country against yours, my country against yours, there will always be war. And this is the reason why Russia is invading Ukraine, because Russia says, actually, we're different. We have to remind ourselves there is a force on this planet, I call the inorganic ones, that does not want to see human beings ascend. What happened to COVID? Like, the media have distracted you with this. This is a whole new distraction. People have forgotten about COVID-19. Why? Because of the Freedom Convoy in Canada. People were rising, finding their power, saying, actually, one humanity, the inorganic ones had to say, you know what? We need a war. And I told you, the whole world is a stage. The whole world is a stage show. And Putin, Zelensky, these are mere pawns on the chessboard. There are inorganic entities, AI, controlling this whole simulation. And they need you in a state of fear. Why? Because when you are in a state of fear, they can control you. People are no longer afraid of a pandemic, but a war, people are now afraid of it. You see, this fear is food for the inorganic ones, and therefore you must choose love, because love is their kryptonite. Slow motion this side. Love helps you see through the illusions. Fear keeps you there. There's a reason why the mainstream media are only now focusing on war, 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 because when you wake up and see that, now you feel bad. This is all part of the mass formation you need to have control over a whole nation. To have an authoritarian rule, you need a mass formation. The 4 prerequisites. You need to feel alone. A lot of people feel alone right now. You need to feel like life is meaningless. What's the point? We just had a pandemic. Now we got a war. You need free-floating anxiety. A lot of people are very anxious. 1 million people, 1 million Ukrainian refugees, right? And you need free-floating aggression and frustration. I hate Russians. I hate Ukrainians. War. This is part of the plan of the inorganic ones to always divide humanity. You have to remind yourself that they are afraid of love because love creates a world they cannot control. This is also part of the Great Reset, Phase 2. Klaus Schwab, the founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum, said Putin was a young member. They're all in it together. That's part of the stage show. It's 2 sides of the same coin, 2 sides of the same web. And therefore you must have discernment when you see what is happening. Because once again, this is also part of the Great Reset agenda, where you will owe nothing and you will be happy. You see, they need to break down the human spirit, and they need to keep the human spirit in a state of fear. This is what is known as the totalitarian tiptoe. David Icke talks about it. But I told you, love always wins. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebook. Go and check it out. Love always wins, and humanity's spirit is so strong. It's like they can never leave you alone. 2 years of COVID, Omicron, and now this. It's like they don't want you to breathe in peace. They always need you in a state of fear, divided, in chaos. Therefore, at this very critical time, you need to go within. Don't expect any truth from the mainstream media, because the mainstream media are owned by BlackRock and Vanguard, the two biggest asset management firms in the world. They control everything. All of the news you're seeing is owned by BlackRock, which owns Vanguard, and Vanguard owns BlackRock. So it's all having an agenda. The pyramid of power is that on the top, they all work together to control the masses at the bottom. And the only way out of this conflict is to lose your social identity. My country is better than yours. You should be leading yourself, because once again, if you follow someone else, you will only be sent to the slaughterhouse. Those prisoners of war, those young Russian soldiers, they're like, we were tricked. But that's what happens. Ignorance is expensive pain. Slow motion this side. So remind yourself, you came here to be free. Free of your persona, free of your country, free of your nationality. And you are here to embrace one humanity. This is what they are most afraid of. Human beings waking up to this secret that we've all been played, all been conditioned to hate each other, even through skin color. I told you, race was created by Blumenbach, Johann Blumenbach, the German anthropologist. Before that point, there was no concept of race, but they needed that to justify the slave trade. So we have all been hoodwinked, bamboozled, divided, and it's still going on with this war. So now we must choose love over everything. Now we must choose peace over everything. And we must remind ourselves not just to believe everything we see. Believe nothing of what you see and only half of what you hear. Do your own research. Find out, why is this happening? And find out that what you do matters. Your voice matters. There's a reason why they're trying to censor people. They were censoring people in the pandemic, and now it's the same thing is happening. Have you noticed RT has gone down, right, on YouTube? But if they censor that and this, they want to censor you. They want you to live in a world where you don't have any freedom of speech. This is what the Great Reset is all about, where you are just an automaton, a drone, a mindless zombie. So it's time to wake up to the truth of who you really are, this powerful, luminous being who is connected to their heart space. They want to disconnect you from your heart space. But you see, remind yourself, there are no winners of war, only losers. And we have to focus on peace so that there can be a peaceful resolution between Russia and Ukraine. But further than that, this is your wake-up call to see. Stop saying, hey, my country. Because once again, this is all part of the plan the inorganic ones had for you, to put you against each other. But on the top, they all work together. And that's why life is a meme. You're being played. It's all a distraction. They're lying to you. Wake up. And then just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Beautiful deep divers. I'm just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Don't listen to me or the media or Zelensky or Putin. Listen to yourself. Okay? And do your own research. Go within. I love all of you. Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Leave a comment down below, deep divers of love and appreciation. Oh, you want me to go live on this topic? Just say, go live, Ralph. Peace. Make love, not war. Baby, baby, baby. Even the cat down the road agrees. Peace.